Hey guys, Jeffrey Brown here, real estate broker in Austin, Texas.
How's it going? Andrew Thurston, I'm a lender in Austin.
And we're going to talk to you today about how to get your offer accepted in this competitive market.
Absolutely. So Austin specifically is still a super competitive market. We're solidly in a seller's market right now. Jeff, you made a good point earlier where you said it's like walking outside and it's 100 degrees, the next day it's 98 degrees. It's cooling off, but only to a tiny degree. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done if you're a buyer looking to get into Austin's real estate market.
Yeah, so be careful what you hear on the national news. Keep it local. Talk to a local expert. That way you can get the best insight and advice on what's going on and actually happening in your market.
Absolutely. And so a couple of the things that make some of the biggest impact on getting your offer accepted is working with a reputable team. So Jeff, that's one reason why I really like working with you, is because you and your team have such a great reputation here in Austin.
Absolutely. Working with somebody who has a reputation for taking care of their clients, getting the job done, and making sure they're knowledgeable throughout the whole process goes leaps and bounds. And when you have a reputation like that, other people want to work with those individuals because they know their clients are going to be engaged, they're going to know what's going on, and they're going to be informed. They're going to be informed buyers and clients. Much like what you do with your clients, Andrew, you educate them through their whole process as well.
Yeah, and from a lending side, you want to be with a great lending team that's established, that's seasoned, also has a reputation out in the industry. So when I call the listing agent on an offer that's been sent out, I can have a conversation with them. It's likely we've done transactions together and they know the deal's going to go through. So, primarily we want to get a good offer in there, which of course is the price, but there's a lot that goes into it. We want to give the sellers and their agents the warm, fuzzy feelings that the transaction is going to go through with minimal hiccups, no issues, and we're going to get to the closing table on time. One of the ways that we do that is by fully underwriting somebody up front. So we have an underwriter review and approve their whole file, income, assets, credit, with documents and everything. And that allows a stronger offer to be submitted. So when a buyer comes to you and I fully approve them, what can you do in relation to the offer that makes them stronger?
That's a great question. So one of the ways in which we can embolden your offer and make it stand out from everybody else is removing the financing approval. And you've helped a lot of my clients in the past do this by, like you just said, get them fully underwritten. Mm-hmm. This benefits you in a competitive situation because if everybody else has that contingency or a delay in their contract, essentially, you can make an offer that says, hey, I'm almost as good as cash. I can beat out all these other offers you have.
That's right. So when you get fully approved and you can get under contract saying, hey, I'm not going to cancel due to my financing falling through because I've already done the work to get it approved, it just removes some of the risk that is inherently in a lot of offers with financing of the deal not falling through. That's actually the number one reason that contracts bust, is the person's financing doesn't come through. So we make sure that that isn't going to happen. Jeff, what are a couple of other things? So price is super important. You got to offer a price that's competitive, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what else can you do?
Well, you could also look at, increasing the amount that you're putting at risk in earnest, or you can increase the amount that you're putting out in option fee, which is non-refundable. Those items commit you a little bit more to the contract, which are great. But going back to the third party financing and removing that contingency there, that's a big one. And that removes a lot of worry that the seller will have in this entire process. But also what it does for you as the buyer is it says, I've done all my homework. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm not getting approved. I'm going to be closing on this house and I know when I'm going to move once I find that right house.
That's right. So sellers want to make sure that you're serious, you're working with a good lending team, you're working with a good real estate team. Another thing that I started doing within the last year or so is offering on-time closing guarantees. So although I do have a great reputation and my team has a great reputation in Austin, if we're working with maybe a seller's agent that we haven't worked with before, we'll offer an on-time closing guarantee that says, hey, if we don't close on time, if there's any delay from the lending side, we're going to give a big chunk of money to the sellers and we're going to give a big chunk of money to the buyers. We don't want to do that. So at the end of the day, it's really just telling them, hey, we know how to do our job. We're going to execute and we're going to make things happen in a really smooth way. So if you guys have any questions, there's a lot more into it than what we just went through. Give us a call, send us a message. Again, Andrew Thurston, lender here in Austin.
Jeffrey Brown, a real estate broker here in Austin, Texas.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to y'all later.